On this episode of the Gerardi Performance Podcast, we're going over the best time of day to eat carbohydrates, how to get rid of gym anxiety, and how alcohol affects muscle growth. Enjoy the show. So the first question is, what is the best time of day to eat carbs? Now, this is a very controversial topic, and so I'm just going to give my opinion and what has worked for myself and for my clients. So what I generally recommend and what I do for myself is to eat your higher carb meals around your workout. So that's before and after. This is because your muscles use carbohydrates in the form of glycogen and glucose for energy during exercise. So if you are eating carbs pre-workout, you'll have a larger amount stored in the muscle for your workout, and then eating them after will help replenish that glycogen after depleting them from your workout. So think of it as the conductor in the train, right? The conductor and the person who puts the coal in fuels the train. So that's what I want you to think about carbs do for exercise. So the coal to a train is your carbs as to exercise. So for example, if you're thinking, okay, this may sound pretty cool, sounds pretty reasonable, makes sense. A meal you may want to do before your workout is chicken with a sweet potato. That's low glycemic, so it will release nice and slow to last through your entire workout, and then a starchy vegetable. Then after would be something like ground turkey, white rice, which is a high glycemic carbohydrate, which means it releases into your bloodstream a little faster so that it will replenish the muscle and the depleted glycogen from the exercise you just did. And then also add a vegetable for that one as well. So a common theme you'll see is you want a protein and a vegetable with each meal, a slow releasing carbohydrate before your exercise, and then a fast releasing carbohydrate, a high GI carb after your workout to replenish that muscle. If you want to go, snack and not a whole meal for pre or post workout, you may want to do a protein shake with oats and a banana. Again, you'll have those carbohydrates ready to replenish or get you prepared for exercise. And the protein you want to try to have as often as possible, just for muscle recovery, protein synthesis, and to be sure that you're eating enough protein to build muscle. And so the second question is, I have bad gym anxiety. How can I make it stop? I'm happy this was a question this week because a couple of my clients actually are struggling with this right now currently, and we talked a little bit about it. So let me start off by saying nobody, and I mean nobody, is shaming you in the gym. The fact that you're there, you're working on yourself, you're trying to better your health, deserves everybody's respect. And if somebody is judging you, which is unlikely, they are the ones who should be embarrassed of themselves. They were all beginners at one point as well, and it's funny to see how quick people are to point fingers at somebody who was once in their very shoes. But for the mass majority of people in the gym, we all want to help one another out and uplift one another. So don't worry about who's judging you or whatnot in the gym. I promise you, if you're in a good gym environment, that everyone is there to uplift you. And if it looks like you need help or you want help, all you have to do is ask. And with that being said, if you feel as though your gym environment isn't welcoming you, just don't match the vibe or something's just off, then you can leave that gym. It's unfortunate to have to do so, and if that's not the place that you need to be to grow as a person, that it may not just be right for you. I bet there's a gym close by that will be right for you and be exactly what you're looking for. So just get in there, do what you have to do, don't be shy, ask for help, and don't worry about looking stupid. Everyone's working on themselves in there and not worried about you. And that is a fact. When I'm in there, my head is down. Unless somebody comes up to me and asks me for help, I'm not helping anybody unless obviously there's an injury that may occur if someone has some wrong form or whatever that may be. But that's not something to be embarrassed about. Everybody's a beginner. Everyone has to learn, right? You need to fall to get back up. The more you fall, the stronger you'll be. You'll live and you'll learn. That those sayings are timeless. And so the last little piece about this is that you're going to have high amounts of caffeine if you're taking pre-workout or if you're having coffee. So those high amounts of caffeine may actually be triggering your anxiety. So if you think like, hey, okay, this sounds like me, try cutting out the pre-workout, try cutting out the coffee, and see if that helps anxiety in the gym, if that lowers your anxiety levels a little bit. And if not, just do what I said. You may have to look for another gym if it doesn't match your vibe, or just try to do a meditation, or just try to really block everybody out. Have those horse vision with the goggles here on the side, and just focus on you. You're there to better yourself, better your health, get stronger, and live a healthier lifestyle Don't worry about what anybody else has to say. And that goes for all of life too, not just the gym, guys. And so the next question is, does alcohol actually affect muscle growth? And the answer is 100,000% yes. Now, I won't get into the nitty gritty, into the physiology. Let's keep it from a bird's eye view here so everybody understands. Alcohol is calories. Alcohol is a macronutrient. And so is a protein. So when you work out, your body's number one goal and number one job is to repair that muscle, right? You're going to repair it with the proteins that you should be consuming for recovery, etc. Now, when you have alcohol in the equation, whether you just worked out or not, the body's number one goal is to get rid of that alcohol because it identifies alcohol as a poison. And so your liver goes into overdrive to rid that toxin, that poison. So, just worked out, you're going out for a few drinks with some buddies, and now instead of repairing the muscle as the number one job, it makes getting the alcohol out the number one job. So that inhibits or impairs the muscle recovery process. Now, let's get away from that a little bit and go a little bit different, down a different avenue with this, right? So you just went out for a drink, totally fine, totally normal. Everyone has a couple drinks, and so you had a few too many. You wake up the next morning, you're hungover, you feel like crap. One, you don't want to go to the gym because your head hurts so much, you didn't get good quality sleep. You may have slept for 7 or 8 hours, but I promise it wasn't good REM deep sleep. And then you want to eat all the other crap. So you want to eat fries, chicken, pizza the next day, greasy foods to make you just feel good, right? Because you're so hungover, you're so tired. And so that's another thing that's going to inhibit it kind of secondarily. So yes, it inhibits it in the fact that muscle repair and muscle recovery is going to stop, but you're also now eating like crap, you feel like crap, and you just skipped your workout because of the choices that you made last night. Now, I'm not saying you should not drink alcohol. When I go out to a drink, I love having a glass of wine. I'll have a beer with a buddy, but at this age, you're in your mid-20s, 30s, 40s, up really from the mid-20s on, our hangovers are lasting a little bit longer, and it affects us in different ways, right? When I was 18, I could drink 4 days a week, no problem, and I was doing that. But as I've gotten older, I've understood the effects, both physically and mentally, that alcohol is taking on my body. So once I really stopped drinking alcohol, I maybe have 1 or 2 drinks a month now. My mind has been so clear, and I'm so focused, so energized, and that's, helping me in the gym as well. I never skip my workouts. I feel amazing. My body feels great. I feel confident. My body is able to repair that muscle optimally now after my workouts because I have no toxin in my body to get rid of it. So, find a happy balance for you. If muscle growth and kind of getting in the gym and looking and feeling your best is the number one priority, then cutting out some alcohol shouldn't be a problem for you. If you're someone who likes to go out and party and drink still, that's totally fine, but just understand that there's a trade-off there. You're not going to have the perfect body that you may want. And those people with those big beer bellies and those guts, if they would just cut out the alcohol, you're dropping 5 pounds in a week. It's just alcohol is calories, right? Every gram is 7 calories. So think about that. You're having, let's say 5 beers. That's 500 calories you're having in a night that you could just get rid of. That is amazing. Cutting out alcohol does wonders for weight loss as well. So yes, it affects muscle growth, but it doesn't mean you have to cut it out. So find a happy balance and kind of work however you want to work out, but just understand that it does take a toll on your muscle growth. That's the end of this 3rd episode of the Gerardi Performance Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed the show and found it useful. If you did, please rate and share the podcast. It helps me out a ton, and I'll greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all on the next one.